Hi, everybody. My name is Justin Gatlin. I'm the pastor of Alvin Missionary Baptist Church and the professor of Texas Baptist Institute in Henderson. I was preaching at a missions conference this week, and I wanted to uh, make a search for all the times that God commands somebody to go. And I thought it was kind of an interesting use case for Logos, and so I wanted to show you how I set that search up. So let's get started. First, I've just got a simple Bible search here. You pick your translation or whatever, it doesn't really matter very much. One thing I want to have is the match all forms selected, and that way it is going to show me, if I do the word go, it'll also show me going and stuff like that. So obviously the simplest thing is go, right? Just the search for the word. You could do that with a concordance, and so if you opened up your Strong's exhaustive concordance or whatever, you'd get 1,500 verses that include the word go. Now, that's not that helpful. So how can we clean this up and start to find something a little bit closer to what we're looking for? Well, the simplest thing to do first is to do in, and then do speaker God. And when I hit enter now, it's going to show me the 400 times that God is identified as the speaker when he uses the word go. In fact, I can do more than this because I want to have where God is the speaker or Jesus is the speaker. You can do this with parentheses. So I'm going to do speaker God or speaker Jesus. And when it's in parentheses, it'll look for go in either one. If I didn't have it in parentheses, it would look for go in where God's speaking, and then it would look for everywhere Jesus spoke. So I use parentheses to tell it that I'm looking for that as one unit. So then I hit this, and then I get some more results. But you'll notice that like Genesis 3:14, on your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. And so if I click on this and right click it, I can kind of get a sense of what kind of tagging is available on this. So if I scroll down, I can see these different tags that are here. It's a curse, it's a pronouncement, it's a declarative sentence. So it's not actually a command. So that makes me think, well, let me find one that is actually a command. I go to Genesis 7:1 and right click it here. And when I scroll down through all this tagging, it will show me that this is a command in the propositional outline. And so if I click this and I go to copy reference search, then it will copy into my clipboard this propositional outline command. How to search for all the commands in the Bible would be just that. And so I want to find now where go, right, is a command. So I'm going to do go intersects. Intersects is what you use in Logos when you have two things and they should be identical, right? So that word should be go and it should be a command. And so I want to find go as a command in a time where God or Jesus is speaking. And so I hit enter here, and 601 results is now 186. And you will find that it is go into the ark, go from your country, take your son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and so on. And so by finding the times where it's a command, I have reduced it to the real examples of where God is commanding someone to go. You'll notice, of course, that some of this is translation dependent, though. Right, so the ESV has go down and come up, bringing Aaron with you. But if I'd use the King James, it says away, get thee down. And so just the word go is not going to be quite sufficient for that. So can we improve our search a little bit more? We sure can. We can right click go again, and we can go to this Bible Sense lexicon. And if I click this, it'll show me that go to go, parentheses travel, is a nice big term that includes all these different things: to journey, go by land, go a distance. So this, and actually some of them, like to accompany travel, includes more words in it. And so if I search for to go travel, then it will show me 9,251 results. And again, I can just copy and paste this, and go back to my search. And so now instead of looking for the word go, I'm looking for the sense go when it is tagged as a command and when it's speech and God or Jesus is the speaker. So now when I hit enter, I'm going to get some nice clean results, 270 results in 237 verses. That will let me get a nice picture of all the times that God commands someone to go. Now, it is worth mentioning, this is not going to show everything you might expect, especially if you're just sort of going in your brain quickly, because it's not going to have, for example, if I can scroll on down here, it's not going to have Matthew 28, the Great Commission. And the reason for that is that the Great Commission is not tagged as the word go is not a command, right? It's as you're going, make disciples. And so that's something where you would want to maybe do some additional searches to get other things like that you would be looking for. However, you can right click those and you can search and find other ideas here. I kind of think that it would be cool to go to the Bible Sense lexicon of people group, and it's got people group social, people group there, land, citizenry, people, political grouping, and social groups and stuff. It has animal groups and everything too. But I wonder if I did sense group, right? So if I'm just as an example here, if I do sense group, you don't need quotation marks if it is not if there's not a space in it, if it's a single word like that. And you've got humanity and stuff like that. It's a very broad search. But I wonder if where you have that as a command, so if I do sense go travel, and I want to find two senses, so I'm going to have another layer of parentheses, sense go travel, or sense group. And again, that's in parentheses because I want to know where either one of those intersects propositional outline, and I want to know where that whole set is in God or Jesus speaking. And so I hit OK here, and I get 516 results in 409 verses. And go into the ark, you and all your household. So I don't know if that's helpful or not necessarily. A lot of these are the same. But thus says Lord God, let my people go. There's a group there as people. What I'm interested in is that by having it include commands that refer to a group of people, that perhaps it will help me catch some of the verses that are instructions about going to people and making disciples, like Matthew 28. So there's a lot more false results the bigger you make your search, right? So when I add every sense of group, now it is going to include all those ones where it says, say to the children of Israel, whatever. And that's not really what I'm looking for. But it does at least give you some ideas for some ways to expand your searches. And most importantly, what I wanted to do was demonstrate to you how I build a search like this step by step. If I just copied and pasted this and told you, oh, here's a search, this is a little bit overwhelming. But probably if you see me put it together piece by piece, then it is a little bit easier. There's other ways you could go about it. Instead of propositional outline command, you could use the speech act tagging. You could use the Hebrew morphology, like if I do morph Hebrew, then it will let me say I'm looking for a verb, and I'm looking for a verb that's an imperative, and or a Greek word that's an imperative. And again, I can click imperative here. And I can say I want to find this, one of those. And let's just use the word go again for the sake of ease. Go intersects one of those in speaker, God, or Jesus. So it's looking for Hebrew or Greek. So the Old Testament or the New Testament. I guess I could add Aramaic too. I don't think there's going to be any examples. I'm not sure about the Aramaic morphology, but you can mess with that if you wanted to. And sorry, speaker or speaker Jesus. And so this is just using the actual structure rather than relying on Logos's tagging. And so maybe you want to do that. Either way, the idea is when you're building a complicated search, build a simple one and then refine it and refine it and refine it until you get what you are looking for. All right, I hope this is helpful for you as you continue using Logos Bible software, and I hope you have a great day.